I'm sitting here with a chewed-up flip-flop in one hand and a half-eaten bag of flamin' hot Cheetos in the other, wondering if I'm the jerk for telling my sister I'm done babysitting her demon dog. AITA for refusing to watch her untrained mutt after it turned my apartment into a post-apocalyptic hellscape? I swear, this isn't just about a dog. It's about boundaries, sanity, and the fact that I'm not a damn chew toy. Let me explain. I'm a 28-year-old freelance graphic designer, and I live in this tiny, overpriced studio apartment above a vape shop in a weird artsy corner of town. The walls are thin, the Wi-Fi spotty, and the guy downstairs blasts lo-fi beats at 3 a.m., but it's mine. I've got my Wacom tablet set up on a wobbly IKEA desk, a mini fridge humming in the corner, and a thrifted velvet couch that smells faintly of patchouli. It's not much, but it's my chaos-free zone, until my sister, Jess, decided her dog was my problem. Jess is 32, a yoga instructor with a vibe that's equal parts zen and, I'll cry if you don't help me. She adopted the scruffy, wiry-haired mutt named Pickles a year ago from some sketchy Craigslist ad. Pickles is maybe 30 pounds, with one ear that flops and these wild, unblinking eyes that make him look like he's plotting your demise. Jess swore she'd train him, but her version of training is cooing "Who's a good boy?" while he humps her lavender-scented throw pillows. Spoiler, Pickles is not a good boy. He's a tornado with teeth. Started small. Jess would text me, "Hey, can you watch Pickles for an hour? I've got a class." I'd say yes because I'm a pushover, and I figured an hour wouldn't kill me. But an hour turned into 3, then a full day, then, "Oh, I'm crashing at my boyfriend's. Can you keep him overnight?" I'd come home to shredded takeout menus, pee on my rug, and once, a turd perfectly centered on my yoga mat, like he knew. I'd text Jess pics of the carnage, and she'd reply with a crying emoji and, "He's just anxious. Give him a treat." Lady, I'm anxious. Where's my treat? Things hit a breaking point last weekend. Jess begged me to watch Pickles for 2 days because she was going to a sound bath retreat with her boyfriend, Chad. Yes, Chad. He wears hemp cargo shorts and calls everyone dude. She dropped Pickles off with a bag of kibble, a frayed rope toy, and a promise she'd Venmo me $20. I should have said no then, but she gave me those big, teary eyes and I caved. The first night, Pickles chewed through my Ethernet cable mid-Zoom call with a client. I'm yelling, "No, Pickles, stop," while my screen freezes and my client's like, "You okay over there?" I MacGyvered a fix with duct tape and spite, but the damage was done. By morning, he'd clawed a hole in my couch, leaving tufts of yellow stuffing everywhere like a crime scene. I tried crating him. Jess swore he was crate-trained, but he howled like a banshee, and the vape shop guy banged on the ceiling with a broom. I let him out, and he immediately ate half a sketchbook I'd been working in for a commission. Pencil shavings everywhere. Deadlines looming. Me losing my mind. Day 2, I snapped. I'm on the floor, scrubbing pee out of my rug with a Dollar Tree sponge, when Pickles launches onto my desk, knocks over my iced coffee, and sends it splashing across my Wacom tablet. That's $800 of gear potentially fried. I shrieked. Full-on horror movie scream. And Pickles just stared at me, tail wagging like, "What's your deal?" I grabbed my phone, hands shaking, and texted Jess, "Come get your dog now. I'm done." She replied, "OMG. I'm in the middle of a gong meditation. Can't you just chill? He loves you." I sent her a pic of the coffee-soaked tablet and typed, "Pickles or me? Choose." She showed up 4 hours later, all huffy, with Chad trailing behind her in flip-flops. The apartment looked like a war zone. Couch guts, chewed flip-flops, a puddle of drool by the mini fridge. Jess gasped, "What did you do to him?" I blinked. "Me? This is his masterpiece." Chad chimed in, "Dude, he's just expressing himself. You're kinda Hersheying his vibe." I pointed at the tablet. "His vibe cost me my job." Jess scooped Pickles up, muttering, "You're so dramatic. He's a dog, not a serial killer." Then she stormed out, leaving the $20 unvenmoed. Now Jess is texting our mom, who's blowing up my phone with guilt trips. "Family helps family. It's just a dog." My friends are split. Half say I'm valid for setting a boundary. Half say I overreacted because dogs will be dogs. Meanwhile, I'm out a sketchbook, a couch, and maybe a tablet, and I've got a client emailing me about a missed deadline. I spent last night Googling how to soundproof an apartment and eating cold ramen, wondering if I'm the bad guy here. I get that Jess loves pickles, and I don't hate dogs. I've even got a soft spot for the little gremlin when he's not trashing my life. But I can't keep sacrificing my space and sanity for a pet she won't train. I told her I'm not watching him again until she gets him under control, and now she's calling me selfish. Reddit, I need your take. AITA for refusing to babysit my sister's dog after he wrecked everything? So, picture this. I'm knee-deep in dirt, swearing at a wilting tomato plant when I catch a pair of glowing eyes staring at me from my birdbath. AITA for telling my neighbor his cat shouldn't be in my yard, only to have him call me an animal-hating monster? I'm not out here trying to start a turf war, but I've got feathers in my mulch and a guy in flip-flops screaming at me like I kicked his kid. Here's how it all went down. I'm 34, a part-time barista and full-time plant nerd, living in this ramshackle duplex on the edge of a cul-de-sac where the streetlights flicker like they're auditioning for a horror flick. My half of the duplex has a postage stamp backyard I've turned into a chaotic jungle, raised beds with peppers and basil, a trellis of sugar snap peas, and a bird feeder I rigged up from an old soup can. It's my zen spot. I'm out there every morning with my chipped "World's Okayest Sister" mug, whispering to my plants like they're gonna whisper back. The Wi-Fi barely reaches, so it's just me, the birds, and the hum of cicadas. Perfect, right? Enter my neighbor, Todd. Todd's 40-ish, a self-proclaimed free spirit who moved in 6 months ago with a vape pen in one hand and a tabby cat named Mr. Whiskers in the other. Todd's the kind of guy who wears tie-dye tank tops unironically and leaves his recycling bin overflowing with IPA cans. Mr. Whiskers, meanwhile, is this chunky, orange menace with a bell collar that jingles like a warning siren. Todd lets him roam free, saying cats need to explore, man. It's their nature. Cool, Todd, but my yard isn't his personal safari. At first, it was minor Mr. Whiskers sunning himself on my patio chair, leaving a carpet of orange fur. I'd shoo him off, he'd glare at me like I'd insulted his ancestors, and that was that. But then the carnage started. I'd find bird feathers scattered in my mulch, little headless sparrows by the basil, and once a half-eaten lizard tail twitching under my picnic table. My bird feeder turned into a buffet, and the chickadees I'd been coaxing all spring stopped showing up. I'd spent $15 on a bag of sunflower seeds and hours Googling how to attract finches just for Mr. Whiskers to turn my yard into a feline kill zone. I tried being chill. I knocked on Todd's door one Sunday, holding a feather as evidence, and said, "Hey, man, can you keep Mr. Whiskers out of my yard? He's murdering my birds." Todd leaned against the doorframe, exhaling a cloud of mango-flavored vape, and grinned. "Dude, he's just doing cat stuff. You can't cage a free soul." I pointed out the dead sparrow count, 5 in a week, and he shrugged. "Circle of life, bro. Maybe get a hawk." "A hawk? In a duplex backyard?" "Sure, Todd. Last straw came yesterday. I'm out there staking my tomato plants, those sad, droopy bastards I've been nursing since March when I hear the jingle. Mr. Whiskers is crouched in my raised bed, mid-dump, right on my cilantro. I lost it. Grabbed a broom, charged over, and yelled, "Get out," while swinging it like a deranged knight. He bolted, leaving a steaming pile behind. I marched to Todd's door, sweaty and feral, and banged until he answered, shirtless, holding a kombucha. "Todd," I said, "your cat just shat in my cilantro. Keep him out of my yard, or I'm calling animal control." His face went from chill to nuclear. "Animal control? You'd snitch on Mr. Whiskers? What kind of animal hater are you?" I blinked. "I'm not an animal hater, I just don't want his poop in my herbs." Todd jabbed a finger at me. "You're gentrifying the neighborhood with your stupid plants. He was here first." "He wasn't. I've been here 2 years." Then he slammed the door, leaving me standing there with my broom like a rejected juicer. Now it's a war. Todd's been passive-aggressive as hell, blasting cat scratch fever from his Bluetooth speaker aimed at my window, leaving passive-aggressive notes in my mailbox like, "Hope your tomatoes like freedom." My cilantro's ruined, my bird feeder's empty, and I'm paranoid every jingle is another attack. I put up a flimsy chicken wire fence today, but Mr. Whiskers just stared at it like, "Nice try, loser." I'm tempted to escalate motion sensor sprinklers, a call to the landlord, but I don't want to be that guy. My sister thinks I'm overreacting, it's just a cat, chill, but she doesn't get it. This isn't about the cat, it's about Todd acting like my yard's his pet's playground. My buddy Dave says I should have thrown the poop back over the fence, which is tempting. Online, I'm seeing NTA, your property, your rules, mixed with white EA, cats roam, deal with it. I'm just a guy who wants his peppers to live and his mornings to stay peaceful. Reddit, tell me, ATA for telling my neighbor his cat doesn't belong in my yard, even if he thinks I'm a monster for it? Okay, real talk. AITA for giving away my parakeet because its screeches were turning my brain into scrambled eggs. Even though my family's now calling me a deadbeat bird dad? I'm not proud of it, but I'm also not sorry, and I need someone to tell me if I'm the villain here. This whole mess started with a feathered banshee named Mango, and it's been a roller coaster of chaos ever since. I'm 26, a line cook at this greasy spoon diner called Patty's Pancake Palace, where the coffee's burnt and the jukebox only plays Dolly Parton on loop. I live in a converted garage behind my landlord's house. A damp, drafty box with concrete floors, a sagging futon, and a hot plate I use to make ramen at 2 a.m. It's not glamorous, but it's cheap, and I've got this rickety card table where I build Gundam models when I'm not flipping hash browns. My life's a little messy, but it's mine. Until Mango flew in and torched it. Mango was an impulse by 6 months ago. I was scrolling OfferUp after a double shift, half drunk on exhaustion and a $3 IPA, when I saw Parakeet, $20, comes with cage. The ad had a blurry pic of this neon yellow bird with orange cheeks, looking like a tiny tropical dictator. I thought, why not? It'll liven up the garage. Next day, I'm handing a sweaty 20 to a guy in a parking lot, and suddenly I'm a bird guy. I named him Mango because I'm basic, set his cage by the futon, and figured we'd vibe. We didn't vibe. Mango screamed. Not chirped, screamed. Imagine a smoke alarm crossed with a car alarm, but it's alive and hates you. He'd start at dawn, shrieking like he was auditioning for a slasher flick, and keep going all day. I'd stumble in from a shift, ears ringing from the diner's clanging pots, and Mango would hit me with a wall of sound. I tried everything, covering the cage with a towel, playing lo-fi beats to calm him, even whispering, "Shoo, buddy, please," like a lunatic. Nothing worked. My Gundam kit sat untouched because I couldn't focus over the noise, and my landlord started texting, "What's that racket? Fix it." My family got involved because of course they did. Mom's a retired nurse who knits lumpy scarves and calls me every Sunday to ask why I'm not married. Dad's a gruff ex-mechanic who thinks pets are commitments, not accessories. My older sister, Lena, is a vet tech with a superiority complex and a rescue pit bull named Brutus. They met Mango at Thanksgiving when I hauled his cage to Mom's house, hoping a change of scenery would chill him out. Nope. He screeched through the mashed potatoes, and Lena smirked. "You didn't research parakeets, did you? They're loud if they're bored." Dad grumbled. "Should have got a dog." Mom just sighed. "Oh, honey," he's spirited. "Last week I hit my limit. I'd pulled a 12-hour shift. Grease burns on my knuckles, a customer yelling about cold eggs, and came home to Mango belting out his greatest hits. I hadn't slept more than 4 hours in days. My head was throbbing. My neighbors were banging on the walls, and I swear Mango smirked at me through those beady eyes. I posted on a local Facebook group, "Free Parakeet, great singer, needs a home." My buddy Jake, a chill stoner who works at a vape shop, replied, "Dude, I'll take him. My girlfriend loves birds." I dropped Mango off that night, cage, seed, a half-chewed toy bell, and felt like I'd shed a 10-pound weight. Then the family group chat exploded. Lena texted, "You gave him away? That's so irresponsible." Mom called, voice wobbly, "You don't just abandon a pet, sweetie." Dad left a voicemail. "Man up and deal with your choices." They're acting like I yeeted Mango into traffic instead of handing him to Jake, who's already posting pics of Mango perched on his bong, looking happier than ever. Lena says I should have tried harder. Enrichment toys, a bigger cage, bird therapy, whatever. Mom's worried I'll give up on kids someday. Dad just keeps muttering about commitment. The fallout's weird. At work, my co-cook Tony high-fived me. "Birds are devils, man, good riddance." But my neighbor's still salty about the noise era. Jake says Mango's quieter now, which stings like I was the problem. I'm back to building Gundams in peace, but every time my phone buzzes with a guilt trip, I second-guess myself. I didn't hate Mango, I just couldn't handle him. I thought I was doing us both a favor, but my family's got me feeling like I failed some cosmic test. So, Reddit, lay it on me. AITA for giving my screamy parakeet to a friend because I couldn't take it anymore. Even if my family thinks I'm a flake, I just wanted my garage back. But now I'm the guy who abandons things. Help me sort this out. Alright, I need to know AITA for asking my friend to clean her dog's hair off my couch when she turned it into a furry crime scene, only for her to flip out and call me dramatic? I'm sitting here with a lint roller in one hand and a grudge in the other, wondering if I'm the bad guy for wanting my living room to not look like a Yeti exploded. This isn't just about hair, it's about respect, friendship, and the fact that I'm one sneeze away from an allergy meltdown. Here's the scoop. I'm 29, a remote customer service rep for a company that sells overpriced ergonomic chairs, and I live in this quirky loft that's basically a repurposed warehouse space. Think exposed brick, creaky wooden floors, and a massive skylight that leaks when it rains. My pride and joy is this vintage mustard yellow couch I scored off Craigslist for $50. It's lumpy, smells faintly of old books, and has a charm only a thrift nut like me could love. I've got a cheap IKEA coffee table littered with half-dead succulents, a switch hooked up to a thrift store TV, and a knockoff Roomba I named Dusty that wheezes around the place. It's my sanctuary after hours of Zoom calls with people yelling about lumbar support. My friend Priya, 30, is a freelance photographer with a vibe that's half artsy, half chaotic. She's got this massive golden retriever named Biscuit, 110 pounds of drooly, shedding joy with a tail that could knock over a toddler. Priya's been my ride-or-die since college. We bonded over late-night ramen runs and her teaching me how to not suck at Mario Kart. She lives in a cramped apartment across town, so she and Biscuit crash at my place sometimes when she's got a shoot nearby. I'm cool with it. Biscuit's a goofball, and Priya usually brings takeout as a trade. But here's the thing, Biscuit sheds like it's his job. Every visit, my couch turns into a golden retriever tribute, hair plastered on the cushions, drifting across the floor, sticking to my Switch controllers. I'm mildly allergic, so I'm popping Zyrtec like candy just to breathe. I've hinted before, hey, Biscuit's really marking his territory, huh? And Priya'd laugh, say he's just sharing the love, and maybe swipe a hand over the couch. Problem is, her cleaning is about as effective as wiping a spill with a napkin full of holes. Last night was the tipping point. Priya texted, can Biscuit and I swing by? Just finished a sunset shoot. I said sure, figuring it'd be the usual pad thai, a few rounds of Smash Brothers, hair everywhere. She rolls in at 8 p.m., arms full of Thai containers, Biscuit bounding behind her like a furry wrecking ball. He leaps onto the couch, shakes like he's in a shampoo commercial, and suddenly my mustard yellow baby's a shedding station. I'm sneezing within 10 minutes, eyes watering, while Priya's scrolling Insta, oblivious. After an hour, I'm done. The couch looks like it's growing a pelt, there's hair in my noodles, and Dusty's choking on a fur ball under the table. I grab the lint roller, start attacking the cushions, and say, hey, Priya, can you clean up Biscuit's hair? It's getting kinda wild. She looks up, mid-bite of spring roll, and goes, what, seriously? It's not that bad. I point at the couch, literal tumbleweeds of golden fluff, and she rolls her eyes. You're exaggerating. It's just dog hair. Chill. I snap. Priya, I'm sneezing my face off, and my couch looks like Biscuit's personal throne. Can you just clean it? Her face hardens. She tosses her phone down, grabs Biscuit's leash, and says, wow, sorry my dog's such a burden. Didn't realize you were this anal about a little hair. I'm like, a little? I could knit a sweater. She storms out, muttering, you're so extra, leaving me with a hairy couch and cold pad thai. Now it's a mess. She texted me this morning, if you hated Biscuit here, just say it. Don't make me feel like a jerk. I fired back, I don't hate him, I just don't want his DNA all over my stuff. She's not replying, but mutual friends are weighing in. One says I'm valid, your house, your rules, another's like, it's a dog, dude, lighten up. My sister called me petty, saying I should have just dealt with it for friendship's sake. Meanwhile, I'm lint rolling my couch for the third time today, sneezing like a cartoon character, and wondering if I overreacted. I love Priya and Biscuit's a good boy, but I can't keep medicating myself to host them. I thought asking her to clean up was fair, she brings the shedding machine, she handles the fallout. Now she's painting me as some uptight clean freak, and I'm stuck feeling like the friendship's fraying over dog hair. Reddit, help me out. AITA for asking my friend to clean her dog's hair off my couch even if she thinks I'm blowing it out of proportion? So, here's the deal. AITA for not dropping everything to hunt for my coworker's escaped hamster when I was slammed with work. Even though she's now telling everyone I'm a heartless jerk, I'm still picking metaphorical fur out of my inbox over this. And I need to know if I'm the asshole or just a guy trying to survive a deadline. This whole fiasco went down in the weirdest office imaginable, and it's left me questioning my humanity. Buckle up. I'm 31, a copywriter at this niche ad agency that specializes in campaigns for artisanal pet products. Think $30 organic catnip and hand-knitted dog sweaters. Our office is a converted barn on the outskirts of town, all rustic beams and hayloft vibes, with a coffee machine that gurgles like it's possessed and a Wi-Fi signal that drops if someone sneezes. My desk's a splintery picnic table piled with notebooks, a dying aloe plant, and a Bluetooth speaker that only plays lo-fi covers of 90s hits. It's a chaotic little world, but I love it. Until the hamster drama hit. My coworker, Ellie, 27, is our social media guru. She's got pink streaks in her hair, a septum piercing, and a vibe that's equal parts TikTok influencer and I'll cry if you look at me wrong. She's obsessed with her hamster, Noodle, a twitchy, beige fluffball she rescued from a pet store clearance bin. Ellie's the type to post daily Noodle updates on the company Slack. Pics of him in tiny hats, videos of him shredding paper towels, captions like, "My intern's working hard today." Cute? Sure. But she started bringing him to work in a tricked-out cage with a water bottle, a wheel, and a neon sign that says Noodles Pad. Our boss, Greg, is a chill hippie who's all live and let live. So no one batted an eye. Last Tuesday, it all went to hell. I'm racing to finish a pitch for a vegan dog treat line. Tagline, positively plant-based. Due at 5 p.m. I'm chugging cold brew, my headphones blasting a lo-fi Wonderwall, when Ellie shrieks from across the barn, "Noodle's gone." Turns out she'd opened the cage to let him stretch his legs on her desk, and he'd bolted. She's flipping out, crawling under tables, yelling, "He's family. We have to find him." Greg's like, "Team, let's rally." And suddenly half the office is on hamster patrol. Shaking treat bags, cooing, "Noodle, buddy, come back." I don't budge. I've got 12 emails from the client demanding revisions, my laptop's at 3% battery, and I'm one typo away from losing it. Ellie spots me typing, storms over, and goes, "Are you seriously not helping? He could be stuck somewhere." I mutter, "Ellie, I've got a deadline. I'm sure he's fine." Her eyes go wide. "Fine? He's defenseless. What if he falls in the hayloft?" I shrug. "He's a hamster, not a toddler," and keep working. She huffs, "Wow, didn't peg you for the indifferent type," and stomps off. The search drags on. Greg's shaking a jar of sunflower seeds like maracas. Our intern's shining a phone flashlight under the printer, and Ellie's sobbing into her cardigan. I hit send on my pitch at 4:58 p.m. Look up, and see Noodle scurry out from behind a hay bale, totally unbothered. Ellie scoops him up, wailing, "My baby," while everyone claps like it's a rom-com ending. I'm just glad it's over until the fallout. Next day, Ellie's icing me out. She posts a Slack rant. Shout out to everyone who helped save Noodle, except the one guy too busy to care. People start whispering. Our designer, Mike, asks, "Dude, why didn't you pitch in? It took 20 minutes. I snap, "I was saving our account, not ignoring a hamster." Ellie overhears, doubles down. "It's not about time, it's about heart. You acted like he didn't matter." Greg pulls me aside, all patchouli and disappointment, and says, "Team spirit, man. You could have stepped up. Now the barn's split. Half the crew's team Ellie. It's just a hamster, but it's her hamster." And half's like, "Work's work, you're fine." My sister, who I vented to, says I'm cold. "It wouldn't kill you to care. But I do care. I like Noodle fine when he's not AWOL. I just couldn't tank my job for a rodent rescue." Ellie's still giving me death stares, and I'm dodging glares over my cold brew. I feel like the Grinch of pet ads, but I stand by it. I had to prioritize. Reddit, weigh in. AITA for not helping look for my coworker's escaped hamster because I was swamped. Even if she's branding me as indifferent? I didn't want Noodle lost, but I also didn't want to lose my paycheck. Tell me where I land.